I never thought of myself as a greedy man. I just wanted more for my family, a better life, more comfort, and maybe a bit of recognition. It started out small, just working a few extra hours here and there, taking on a couple of side projects. Mary, my wife, was supportive. She knew I was doing it for us, for our future. Or at least, that's what I told myself. But as time went on, I couldn't help but notice the things I didn't have. The Wilsons next door had just renovated their kitchen. The Martins had gone on the European vacation, and there I was, still stuck in the same routine, in the same house. It gnawed at me. Why should they have what I didn't? I worked just as hard, maybe harder. That's when it started. I began pushing myself more, taking on bigger projects, and working longer hours. I told Mary it was for the kids, for their future, but deep down, I knew it wasn't just that. I wanted to show the world, show my neighbors, that I could do better, that I could have more. I wanted to be the one they envied. The money started rolling in. I remember the day we moved into our new house, the one with the pool and the home theater. It felt good, like I had finally arrived. But that satisfaction didn't last long. I kept looking for the next thing, the next deal, the next purchase that would set me apart. I needed to stay ahead. My neighbors noticed the changes in me. The Wilsons stopped coming around as much, and when they did, it wasn't the same. There was a tension, an unspoken competition that hung in the air. The Martins, who used to be our closest friends, started to distance themselves too. I shrugged it off. They were just jealous, I told myself. They couldn't handle the fact that I was doing better. Mary tried to talk to me about it once, about how I was changing, how I was spending less time with the kids. I brushed her off. Didn't she understand I was doing this for us? But even as I said it, I knew it was a lie. I was doing it for me, for the thrill of outdoing everyone around me, of being the best. But the higher I climbed, the more isolated I became. My neighbors stopped inviting us to barbecues, and the kids seemed to pull away from me too. I told myself they were ungrateful, that they didn't understand what it took to get ahead. I didn't need them. I didn't need anyone. Then the deals started getting risky. I knew I was crossing lines, but the money was too good to pass up. I started cutting corners, making decisions I never would have considered before. But I was untouchable, or so I thought. The first sign of trouble came when one of those deals went south. Legal trouble followed, and suddenly, everything I'd built was at risk. The stress was unbearable. I wasn't sleeping, my blood pressure was through the roof, and I could feel my body breaking down. But I couldn't stop. I couldn't admit that it was all slipping away. When the fall came, it was faster than I ever imagined. I lost my job, my reputation, and most of our wealth. The house, the car, all the things I thought defined my success were gone. And with them, the respect of my family and the few friends I had left. I looked around at what was left of my life and realized that in my pursuit of more, I had lost everything that really mattered. My family, the people who once meant the world to me, had become strangers. My neighbors, who I once considered friends, were now distant memories. And all because I couldn't stop wanting more. Greed doesn't just take, it consumes. It took my happiness, my relationships, and in the end, it took me. I'm left with nothing but the knowledge that the price of ambition can be far greater than any reward it brings.